The real key is not being afraid to sacrifice the extra line that it takes to tie this knot.
Welcome back. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do a how-to. Today's how-to is the Palomar knot. Yeah, there's a lot of videos on the Palomar knot, but I'm going to provide you with a few tips that I think you might find useful, plus an on-the-water demonstration. Well, let's get started. So I'm using a heavy line and a heavy hook to make it easier for me to tie and for you to see. So the first thing you do, double the line. Give yourself a long enough loop to tie the knot and to pass the bait through later. Squeeze the end that you just doubled, pass it through the eye of the hook, make a loop, then pass the working end through that loop, and that forms the overhand knot. And now the working end forms a loop, and that's the loop you'll pass the bait through. So open up that loop, reach through and grab the bait, and stick one finger, watch this closely, stick one finger inside the overhand knot, and then flip the working end loop above the knot. This is where you start to cinch it down. I'm using that finger through the overhand knot to keep it open so that it doesn't generate a bunch of friction and heat, which can damage monofilament and especially fluorocarbon. You have to keep in mind that the Palomar knot is a high friction knot, and that's why it works so well on fluorocarbon and braid. However, that same friction generates heat if you let it tighten up too soon, and that heat is devastating to fluorocarbon. That stuff will break so easily if it gets too hot. Trim the tag end off of it and you're ready to fish. Now it's time to see an on-the-water demonstration in windy 30-degree temperatures from an experienced angler who's done this about 10,000 times. All right, so we're fixing to get a good tip on tying a Palomar knot from somebody who's tied a couple in all kinds of crazy conditions. High winds, cold temperatures, a combination of that and rain. You name it, he's tied them.
The real key is not being afraid to sacrifice the extra line that it takes to tie this knot. So I doubled the line. So that's through the eye. Let's go over my finger. Grab that, get a big loop. Something with treble hooks, can't get in the line. Put that in the palm of your hand. There you go. Cinch it up. And another good thing about using that much line, you get rid of anything that's frayed from previous fish catches, or dragging it over limbs and rocks gets taken away, so you're always refreshing that line. And if you practice that, you can tie it blindfold. You don't have to see it.
I hope you find that useful. Remember the two key points. Key point number one, keep that overhand knot open as long as possible. This prevents friction and heat from damaging your line when you cinch up the knot. Key point number two, use plenty of line when you tie the knot. This allows you to make the loop big enough to reach through and grab that bait and keep those hooks from tangling the line, making the knot easier to tie. Plus, when you use more line like that, you're constantly cutting away damaged and frayed line, which can cost you a fish. It's cost me a few fish. Hopefully this will make the knot easier for you to tie and maybe even put a few more fish in the boat for you. Thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and share this video with somebody you think that might find it useful too. As always, I urge you, go outdoors, do something fun, experience something beautiful, and share it with someone. See you next time.